Oh, my teammate. I'm super, super hyped to have my girl here. Two-time WNBA All-Star, Kelsey Mitchell.
Kelsey Mitchell's journey with the Indiana Fever has been nothing short of a roller coaster. From a team that faced 7 years of playoff drought to the highs of becoming a WNBA All-Star, Mitchell's story embodies resilience, determination, and growth. Alongside her loyal teammate Erica Wheeler, Kelsey opens up about the hardships, triumphs, and the evolution of the Fever into a powerhouse, which all started during the 2024 season. Mitchell, who hails from Cincinnati, Ohio, speaks about her upbringing with passion, saying that coming from a small Midwestern town wasn't easy. Cincinnati isn't like Miami or Atlanta, larger cities where there's a bigger spotlight on athletes. It's a dense, tight-knit community where you have to make the best of what you've got. Born into a family rooted in sports, her father was a football player and her mother played at Eastern Kentucky. Sports were in her blood from the start. She grew up learning life lessons through sports, and it became her world, her refuge, and her way of connecting with friends. Reflecting on her time at Ohio State University, Mitchell shares how she was always a homebody, but the decision to become a Buckeye was a clear one. She made her name on the court there, which led to her being drafted as the number 2 pick in the 2018 WNBA draft. The future looked bright as she arrived in Indiana, ready to lead her new team to glory. However, instead of championships, Mitchell was faced with a barrage of losses and a series of challenges that would test her resolve. Over her first 7 years in the league, the Fever faced one of the longest playoff droughts in WNBA history. For 7 consecutive seasons, they missed the playoffs. In fact, one season was so disastrous that the team only managed to win 5 games. For a player like Mitchell, whose individual talent shone through the darkness, it was a tough reality. From 2018 to 2023, she averaged over 16 points per game, which was remarkable. But as any true competitor knows, individual success can only mask the frustration of team failure for so long. Mitchell's frustration grew as she continued to put up impressive stats year after year. The accolades came, but what Mitchell really wanted was a team that could win together. In her own words, the points were the points, the accolades were the accolades, but it wasn't enough. She wanted more than just personal success, she wanted to win with her team. This hunger for collective success, though palpable, became increasingly difficult to realize. What made the situation even more challenging was the lack of stability in the coaching staff. Over the course of her career, Mitchell worked under 4 different head coaches. Each one brought a new vision, a new strategy, and sometimes a completely different philosophy. Every time a new coach arrived, Mitchell found herself starting over, trying to build a relationship and adjust to a new system. This constant shift made it difficult for her and the team to gain any real momentum. Despite the challenges, Mitchell never gave up. Her loyalty to the organization and her determination to stay positive in the face of adversity are a testament to her character. While many might have demanded a trade or lost hope, Mitchell kept working, becoming the hardest worker in the gym day after day. Even though she faced repeated disappointment, Mitchell remained focused on improving. She showed up early, stayed late, and gave it everything she had. She trusted in the process, even when the results weren't coming. Mitchell says, "I just kind of trusted the wave, and looking back now, she's grateful she stuck with it." It's not often you see players stay loyal to a team through so many tough years, but Mitchell wasn't just focused on herself. She was committed to being part of the solution. While the years were hard, 2023 brought a shift. After years of individual excellence, Mitchell was finally rewarded. She was named an All-Star for the first time in her career, and it felt like validation for everything she had put into the game. She admits that she wasn't sure what an All-Star appearance would look like for her, but when she got the call, she was overwhelmed. In her typical modest fashion, she downplayed it, but deep down it was a huge moment in her career. She worked incredibly hard to get to that point, and it was a recognition not just of her talent, but of her perseverance through years of adversity. However, even as Mitchell celebrated this milestone, her focus remained on the bigger picture, the team's success. She continued to push herself, reflecting on her journey and saying, "I always got my back dirty." Her journey had never been easy, but it was her determination and work ethic that brought her to this point. The 2024 season was supposed to be her crowning achievement, but life threw a wrench in the works when tragedy struck. In March of 2024, Kelsey Mitchell lost her father, a man she called her best friend and the person who had instilled in her the love for basketball. His death left a void that seemed impossible to fill. The man who had always pushed her to be better, who had always been there for her, was no longer around. Mitchell admits that the weight of her grief was overwhelming. She didn't know what would happen next. Basketball, which had always been her safe haven, now felt impossible. The game she loved felt too difficult to play without her father by her side. In the midst of her grief, Mitchell was at a crossroads. She seriously considered stepping away from basketball entirely, unsure of how she could continue without the one person who had always believed in her. It's a heartbreaking place to be when everything you've worked for seems insignificant in the face of such a profound loss. But Mitchell found the strength to continue, and a big part of that strength came from her teammates. The Fever's locker room became a source of support and encouragement, and among them was rookie sensation Caitlyn Clark. At first, Mitchell didn't know how a rookie could have such an impact on a veteran player, but Clark's infectious energy and unwavering support gave Mitchell the motivation she needed. In the tough moments, Mitchell realized that her teammates were her new lifeline. She leaned on them and found solace in the sisterhood they shared. Mitchell also made the courageous decision to seek professional help, diving into therapy. She took it seriously, knowing that in order to move forward, she needed to take care of her mental health. It wasn't easy, but she did it day by day, leaning on the support system around her. As the season went on, something incredible happened. Mitchell's game reached new heights. The pain and grief she carried with her were channeled into every shot, every drive, every defensive stop. Basketball became both an escape and a way for Mitchell to honor her father's memory. Her performance on the court reached career-best numbers, averaging 19.2 points per game and shooting an impressive 46.8% from the field and 40.2% from beyond the arc. But more than the statistics, Mitchell's game was infused with a new energy, a new sense of purpose. She was playing not just for herself, but for the legacy of the person who had taught her everything about the game. The 2024 season was an emotional one for Mitchell, but it also became a turning point. Her resilience and determination had brought her to this moment, and now alongside Caitlyn Clark, Mitchell was experiencing a new chapter in her career. The two of them became a dynamic duo, each averaging 19.2 points per game, showing that the Fever had finally found a winning formula. Clark's incredible court vision created new opportunities for Mitchell, and suddenly defenses couldn't focus on her alone. It was a revelation. Mitchell's game reached new heights, and the team began to gel in a way that they never had before. As the season progressed, Mitchell and Clark thrived together. Their chemistry was undeniable, and the team's success followed. Mitchell's performance was not just about individual accolades, it was about the team's success, and that was something she had longed for throughout her entire career. She reflected on her journey, saying that she felt like Indiana was the new Hollywood, a place where everyone wanted to be. The Fever had finally become a team to watch, and Kelsey Mitchell had played a huge part in making that happen. Mitchell's journey from a young player with dreams of stardom to a seasoned veteran who had weathered the storms of personal loss and team struggles is a story of resilience. It's a story of a player who never gave up, who continued to fight for herself and her team. And now, as she stands on the precipice of greatness, Kelsey Mitchell's future in the WNBA is brighter than ever before.